Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Hutt's F1 Gaming League. I am still Guns, returning for the first time this year. After a bit of a much-needed break, I was getting rather burnt out towards the end of last season. But I'm back now. I didn't have a very good start to this year either, if I'm honest. I had to miss 2 streams through no fault of my own, really. Or maybe partially. Who knows? So here I am at round 3. And already getting off to a very poor start by coughing. Oh well. Round 3 at Austria for a sprint race weekend. Already we've had 2 different winners this season. TomTom, Fifi, and Pookie. Both worthy winners by the looks of things. Goshan was unable to make last week, and I don't know if he's in this week, but we shall see as we move into qualifying. Now, let's see if I remember all my buttons correctly. Is that one the correct button to bring us into the...
No!
Is that going to work? There we go, that's working. So yes, welcome to 2023, everyone. And it's shaping up to be hopefully a decent pair of races here. Also, do keep me appraised, as it's been a little while since my last stream. I've forgotten all the audio settings, so don't be afraid to leave chat messages or ping me in the Steam messages in case the audio is a bit messed up. I've already forgotten who Bond is. Bond87. Thank you for the message. Thank you. And let's see if my throat is up to it. I do have some drink to wet the whistle. In the form of Pepsi. I also have about 100 milliliters, maybe less, of water. Oh wow! Apparently we're enough of an affiliate that I can start to get these chat points. Right, well... Yes, do let me know on audio levels. Because I missed the first stream, well, first 2 streams, I'm not entirely sure who's racing for who anymore, but I've not... it's one qualifying, of course, because it's a sprint race weekend. Let's try and bring up all the necessary stuff quickly. We're following Shankstar here, who is still in a Haas. There has been a few changes. TomTom, who was originally in Aston Martin, is now in the Mercedes. He's moved from the B team to the A team, essentially. Currently, it's Bubbly leading the way. Just about. We've got Bengal. I don't recognise that name. It could just have been a while since I've seen that name around. Oh, I moved 1 position down and he's already P5. Oh, Sherlock has possibly crashed. Groffel has invalidated. Red Bull RB18. One of the most dominant F1 cars in history. Not usually due to its own performances, however. And it's going to be an RB18 taking pole position by a whopping 0.2 of a second. 104.8. TomTom has to settle for P2. Goshan, 1,000th behind TomTom. Well, it's going to be quite the fight for P1 here. Indeed. We've had 3 disqualifications, a crash, and then there's Surty, who has not crossed the finish line yet because he had a spin or something, possibly. Oh, and he's using a fish helmet as well. That's weird. Audio is apparently good. Okay. I did something right this year. So TomTom has pole position. He will lead the sprint race. Oh god, I hate that pose. Ugh. It doesn't fit at all. But hey, at least you can use it, unlike F1 Life. And the supercars. Here's hoping they actually bring back the classic cars for F1 23. But knowing our luck, they'll just expand those features and they'll be abandoned maybe 5 days later than before. So anyway, sprint race. I think it's an 18 lap race. Oh, it's looking a bit cloudy as well. Bit overcast. So could be threats of rain in the future. Depending on... Well, yeah, depends really. I don't know if anyone's going to be kind enough to give me a weather forecast. It's one of my common complaints. Spectators, commentators, they don't get the opportunity to look at the weather. I mean, I guess it's kind of like real life, but at least in real life, Crofty is able to keep somewhat up to date. I don't have that opportunity. Anyway, that's what I was thinking. Why is it? Don't usually have telemetry on anymore. That's something I was doing all the time in CRS. So, on the formation lap for what is it, a 12-lap sprint race. Not quite 25% of a full race. So like a 100 kilometers, which is not 25%. It's more like a third. No, I don't know. Weird. So Bubbly, not always someone who was on pole, but on this occasion he has managed to pull out the fastest lap, pull the fastest lap out of the bag. Car number 8, cosplaying as Roman Grosjean, I see. TomTom, meanwhile, still cosplaying as Robert Kubica. And then there's Goshan, who is no longer cosplaying Fernando Alonso, unless he's sort of trying to replicate Alonso's career without the 1-year stint at McLaren in 2007. Final cars lining up on the grid, including Sherlock, who went from Ferrari to Aston Martin. Groffel alongside in the Alpine. And at least we're going to get a decent starting camera here. Hopefully. Lights coming on for the Grand Prix, the sprint. And... what? Okay, lights out and away we go. We've had a bunch of penalties already. I'm not sure why. No one was moving. So we have potentially had a bug here. It wouldn't be F1 22 without it. So Angel, Big 6 and 30 have already picked up, I think, their drive-through penalties already, and pressing all the wrong buttons, because I can't remember. Bubbly leading the way, and it's Pookie into P2, last week's winner. Oh, we got yellow flags. Big 6 has had a spin at turn 3. Bubbly has opened the gap up to almost 1.2 seconds ahead of Pookie already, who has... I don't even remember where he started. I guess we can take a look already. No, it's a telemetry. It's position change. He's up 2 positions. He qualified P4 then, I would imagine. Possibly P5. No, P4. Definitely P4. TomTom has lost out a little bit. Goshan's lost out as well as Bubbly sets fastest lap. Obviously, it's the first lap. And we've already got the people who were affected by the rather ridiculous penalties coming in already. The Groffel is already changing his front wing. He's had a bit of a prang somewhere. Currently, it's Bubbly sort of checking out in front at the minute. 1.4 seconds and gradually climbing. Pookie not able to keep pace at the minute. He's got about 10, 11 laps to go. TomTom keeping Pookie honest, as Daniel moved up from P5 to P4 in the Alfa Romeo. Daniel 99, oh look, it's Antonio Giovinazzi. It's like he never left. Speaking of Antonio Giovinazzi, he's going to be driving for Ferrari in WEC this year, so looking forward to that. It's the most excited I've been about endurance racing since 2009, I think. I didn't really pay much attention to WEC, so yeah, I might actually check in a few races out this year. Ooh, the gap between Bubbly and Pookie has fallen to within a second. Not sure what's going on. Perhaps Bubbly has made a mistake, or maybe Pookie has cleaned up his driving somewhat. Because the gap is just about on the limits. Closing a little bit through the middle of Sector 2, however. I don't know why it's giving me TomTom's time when I'm looking at Pookie. But TomTom appeared to be 7/10 of a second up, I think. So the gap closed. Oh, it's closed even more. Bubbly definitely did not have a good final corner there, and Pookie has just put in the fastest lap of the sprint so far. You don't get extra point. Oh, he has a bit of a wobble on the exit of turn 1 there. Gonna compromise him a little bit. But with the aid of the DRS and potentially a little bit of energy usage as well, he's gonna close to 0.6 of a second. There's been a spin. That is an AlphaTauri. That was Biscuit, who is still at AlphaTauri, as is Lero Fusion. Goshan, meanwhile, has not had the same pace. He's losing time to the car in front, which is Daniel 99. And we know that this championship is meant to be equal cars, but it's not truly equal. Each car is going to be slightly different due to differences in wheelbase and perhaps slight differences in width, which can change the way the cars handle a little bit. And in this case, Goshan doesn't seem to be quite gelling well enough with the Ferrari. Pookie, on the other hand, seems to be gelling quite nicely with it. He's caught up to Bubbly, and he could make the move into turn 3. Is he going to hold off, though? Because there is one final DRS straight. He is going to hold off. Or maybe he just didn't feel like he could make the move. Oh, and it just doesn't get the traction out of turn 3. So he's got to settle for now, but we're almost halfway through the Grand Prix, the sprint even, as there's been a spin for Groffel, and it looks like perhaps even a contact between teammates as Surtees off as well. Groffel has retired, which could mess with Surtees here. Nope, Surtees retired as well. Okay, so lap 6 approaches halfway point of this sprint. Pookie gets the DRS again. I'm going to open up the telemetry actually and see how much energy he is using. Plenty of energy for both cars. Around about half the battery. Pookie, you know it's Bubbly that's using a little bit, but Pookie looked like he was going to make a move. Very close through turn 3. He's got the DRS again, but he's not using the energy. He's happy with the DRS as we get a pretty useless camera angle. Bubbly holds on for another lap as Angel gets a 3-second time penalty, presumably for cutting corners and whatnot. TomTom is now pretty close to Pookie, but it's at the minute it's a bit of a DRS train. And whilst TomTom is closer to Pookie than Pookie is to Bubbly, well, actually, no, I say that again. It was very close to. No, they're both at the same distance away now. It's crazy the difference a few corners makes. Was that Angel? No, it's Bengal who's had a spin. The Williams has lost his front wing. Car number 97, but no safety car. Just a bit of debris that will automatically disappear. Pookie taking a bit of a look up the inside of turn 3, but a bit too far back. I think Bubbly had a bit of poor traction. And if Pookie can't make the move here, then TomTom is going to probably try and take that as an invitation. But because Pookie has the DRS, as does TomTom, it might be quite difficult for the Mercedes to get by. Turning out to be quite a battle here. A few more battles down the field. Isti 104 in one of the McLarens is very close to Laurel Fusion and might be able to make the move. I'm going to take a bit of a look here. It's not going to work out just yet. I don't think Pookie or TomTom are going to make the move into turn 1. And Isti not going to make the move either. We'll go back to the top 3. TomTom taking a look on Pookie. Pookie taking a look. It's getting mighty close. Pookie has got... TomTom goes up the inside. Oh, that was very, very close racing. Pookie had to take somewhat avoiding action so he didn't go into the back of the Red Bull. Meanwhile, Isti has got past Laurel Fusion. That's a battle we unfortunately had to miss. But this is a battling for the sprint win here. 8 points in the championship. And the fighting between these three has been so intense that they're actually pulling away from Daniel in the Alfa Romeo. And we move on to another lap. Lap 9 of 12. Watch from TomTom's perspective here. And Bubbly has less energy to play with than the two cars behind. But neither of them are using the ERS, the energy deployment, to try and get past Bubbly. Probably trying to leave it until the last possible moment. That's how I would be doing it. I think Pookie would probably dump what energy he has in the last 1 or 2 laps. TomTom as well, potentially. Such a short lap here at the Red Bull Ring. We're about to start... well, we're about to see another attempt on the lead again. So here we go. DRS opens for the Ferrari and the Mercedes. Ferrari closing quite rapidly, but has to back off into turn 1. Gets the DRS again. Down the main straight, we've had a spin. I think that's Shankstar. Indeed it is. Pookie gets past Bubbly into turn 3. Finally, the lead has changed, and now Bubbly gets the DRS. Or does he? Yes, he does. But now it's up to Pookie to try and control the race. Has a bit more energy to play with than the Red Bull. And now Pookie has to try and hold on. But can TomTom be the upset here? It's getting pretty close. There's more fighting going on down the field. Isti being hounded still by Fusion, who wants his position back, who's also been caught up by TomTom's teammate Quack. Oh, I think Bubbly's had a bit of a wide entry into the penultimate corner there. He's definitely at risk from TomTom here, and he's having to use his energy to try and equalize the gap. Indeed, He did have a poor turn 9 or whatever it's called. And he's having to use his energy, and he's really quite far down on energy now. 20% opposed to 56 for Pookie and 64 for TomTom. Bubbly using his energy again. Is he gonna try and make the move? He is making the move into turn 4. He takes back his lead, but is it gonna last? It is for now. They're going side by side through turns 5 and 6. This is incredible. We've had some pretty amazing races here, and this fighting, this squabbling between Pookie and Bubbly could allow TomTom to get past. And yes, you can see now Bubbly has so little energy left, but Pookie still has to hold off through turn 9. As Quack receives a penalty, and this time Bubbly cannot hold on. Oh, Pookie actually closing his DRS. Doesn't want to overtake Bubbly too soon. And I think Bubbly might lose 2 positions in the space of a single corner here. Pookie makes the moves. And TomTom going up the inside as well. Bubbly still fighting back for all that he is worth. But in the end, he has to... I can't remember the word. Has to... Oh, he's going really deep on the brakes there. That's not a move I would have ever expected to work, but credit where his credit is due. He kept it on the road. And now he has to settle for P2 at the very most here. He doesn't have the energy. Pookie's used up all of his. TomTom's using all of his too. Can TomTom take P2 from Bubbly? I don't think he can at the minute. No, it's not gonna last unless he gets the DRS. No, he can't do it. What a fight. And Daniel was being caught by Goshan in the end there, so Goshan did get his act together in the end, but in the eventually had to settle for P5. And yeah, the top 8: Pookie, Bubbly, TomTom, Daniel, Goshan, Jordan, Isti, and Level Fusion picks up a solitary point. This track, I think, it was last season where we had TomTom and Goshan fighting so hard that they went over the DRS detection line side by side, and the game didn't know who to give the DRS to, so it didn't give it to either of them. It's that Daniel who was behind.
Well, guess what? There are a couple more laps. About 36 more, because this was just the sprint.
Because now we've got the Grand Prix proper. There we go. Pookie was a bit of kind of a no man's land last season, but now he's really hit the ground running this season. He's won 1 race, and now he's won the sprint. So now the ball is in his court. Whether it's up to him if he scores again. Yeah, I've been watching Pookie race for quite a while, back in CRS. And I don't know what happened last season, but I guess maybe the game just wasn't for him. But now he's in that Ferrari. He is pretty rapid. So, we have 15 seconds until the formation lap should begin, and hopefully we don't get any more of those drive-through penalties that didn't seem to be the most legitimate.
Switched to the wheel, apparently.
mean, I could probably switch to the wheel and still be crap, so... So let's take a look at the tyres. Vast majority of the field starting on the mediums. We have 3 starting on hards, Isti, Sherlock and Angel, and a single driver who's going to risk it for a biscuit on the soft tyres. It's Reese in the Haas. Was a Red Bull driver last season. Now it's good to see Red Bull back where they're supposed to be. In fact, it's kind of like a big 3 moment here. Pookie, Bubbly and TomTom, top 3 teams in real life, and currently the top 3 drivers here. So... keep that up. I don't know what I was trying to say there. I think I got my words mixed up. Formation lap coming to its end. Cars lining up. At least we're going to get a somewhat decent starting camera here, as we can see. Oh no, Pookie was too far over. He gets reset. That is going to harm his start quite tremendously. You can see how far back he is compared to the Red Bull behind. Everyone is lined up. And lights are coming on. The Grand Prix is about to begin. It's lights out and away we go, and Pookie does actually get a much better start than Bubbly, who is about to be overtaken potentially by Daniel 99. He has been overtaken. Is there any chaos behind? TomTom's had to go off. And we have had quite a bit of chaos in the opening moments of the lap. Let's see how things have shaped up already. Bubbly down 2 positions, about to be overtaken by Jordan potentially. He's got Fusion and Isti also hounding him. Fusion right behind the Red Bull. Can Jordan be last of the late breakers? He's got the inside for turn 4, but no, he has to back off. Isn't able to make the move stick. Angel's down into P19 and last. Goshan has had a horrendous start as Fusion trying to go side by side with Jordan through turn 5. They've had a spin! Pookie's gone off! Oh no! Japper's gone off as well! What a disaster! He won the sprint just to choke at the first time of asking. And Groffle's broken another front wing. What a surprise. So now TomTom inherits the lead ahead of Daniel 99 in the Alfa Romeo. Not the position I think he expected to be in this early in the race. Bubbly had a bit of a shoddy start, but he's still in the mix. And Isti is now... Huh? No, he's not ahead of anyone. He's been overtaken by Goshan, who is finding his feet after a pretty terrible sprint race. But it's still McLaren's 5 and 6, with Isti ahead of his teammate, Jordan, who had a pretty mega start, but clearly hasn't been able to capitalise on it too much. He's back where he started. Shankstar has had an incredible start. He's up into P6. Shankstar as Fusion makes the dive bomb. No, he's going into the pit lane. Okay, oh, what happened to Fusion? I think he's had a spin or something. Oh dear. So, not the race that some of the people here would have liked to have had. Not the start anyway. And Daniel not able to keep pace with TomTom at the minute. Under threat from Bubbly. We shall open up the telemetry again. Bubbly has the DRS and he's using his energy. Is he going to make the move? Yes, he is. He's going to make the move. He takes a dive bomb. Oh, bit of contact though. And that's actually pushed Daniel onto the runoff.
The grass.
I would imagine this will get looked at after the race by the FIA. Because I think it's pretty slam dunk. We know what happened in the 2021 Grand Prix and the 2022 Grand Prix. Well, I say 2021 Grand Prix between Styria and Austria, where Checo and Lando both pushed drivers off. I reckon that's pretty slam dunk. So, Bubbly, 1.7 seconds behind TomTom. He now has to try and make up that gap against someone who has a bit more battery to play with him, and he isn't a champion, but he was a runner-up, and he is champion material. Meanwhile, looking a bit further down the grid, Jordan is leading a bit of a train. Oh, Bengal has just picked up a penalty, I think. Jordan got back past his teammate Isti, and he's now the locomotive in this train, the RS train. Goshan, who was P4, potentially had a spin or something, or maybe just simply a messed up curb or corner or something. Back into P6 behind Isti. Oh, and he's not had a great P9 turn 9. Getting all my words mixed up again. He's got plenty of battery to play with though, so he's pretty content to stay where he is at the moment. Try not to overcook things and just let Jordan waste his battery by basically being the snowplow. Oh, and look at this, Gosha making the move on Isti. Can he make it stick? Is he going to use it? Oh no, he's using too much of his welly. Not enough traction. He's been overtaken by Quack and Shankstar now. Not sure what's going on with Goshan today, but definitely maybe he needs to recalibrate his brake pedal.
If you understand that joke.
I mean, that was clearly his throttle. Is he able to make the move back past Shankstar? Not yet. He's still got plenty of energy. Oh, he's getting pretty close to Shankstar. Oh no, he's spinning around! What is wrong with his throttle pedal today? God, it's being a pretty horrendous week. Well, a couple of races for Goshan here. Really not sure what's going on with our Ferrari duo. Both of them have spun out of the points, though Pookie is back into the points. He's made up 5 places since we last saw him. And now he's right behind Bengal in the Williams. And Pookie should be able to make the move quite nicely. Has the inside for turn 4. Bengal doesn't really try to fight it. And Pookie back into 8th place now, hunting down Shankstar, who his teammate spun out was behind. So maybe Shankstar has a bit of a bad omen here for Ferraris. We shall see. Shankstar, meanwhile, 0.5 of a second behind Quack, the second Mercedes, who appears to be a bit of the Valtteri Bottas to TomTom's Hamilton. At the minute, anyway. We shall see. And the gap has fallen by 0.1 of a second. Shankstar using his energy. Oh, it goes onto the grass! That's a Daniel Ricciardo move if I ever saw one. Oh, but he outbrakes himself and loses the position immediately. Oh, no! And he clipped the sausage curb, goes into the wall, and all that effort has just been wasted. And he's not able to reverse? It looks like he might be stuck here. No, he had to reset, so he was beached. And that has really hurt Shankstar's race there. Bubbly is currently 2 seconds behind TomTom. He's not been able to gain, as Daniel has probably just picked up a warning there. Daniel falling further and further adrift of the cars in front. Jordan possibly catching up a little bit. In fact, he is catching a little bit, not by a huge amount. Need to watch for a bit longer, I think. He's actually losing time down the straight compared to Daniel, so maybe he's carrying a bit more downforce. The two McLarens pretty content to run in 2x2. They've dropped Quack, who is sort of in no man's land at the minute, and Pookie got past. No, he didn't get past. Well, he did get past Shankstar technically. He was P8, then Shankstar had his disaster, and now Pookie is in P7, gradually catching Quack just outside of a second, in fact just inside of a second now. He should be able to get the DRS on lap 10. And there we go, the DRS counter at the bottom of the screen. DRS wide open. What position can Pookie recover to? Well, I don't think he's going to get Quack this lap, or actually, Quack did have a bit of a wobble. And Goshan has moved up a couple of more positions, so he's just behind Biscuit in P10. Pookie not able to make the move. Oh, Quack is having a bit of Goshan syndrome, as Goshan has actually just got past Biscuit into P10 now. And Pookie gonna make the move up the inside. Last of the late breakers. Yes, he is. Gets past the Mercedes. Pookie in the hunt. Still for at least a podium, but he's got 3.2 seconds to the car in front, which is the McLaren of Isti 104, a driver who I know to be pretty decent. Ooh, Daniel, 4.3 seconds adrift of Bubbly now. And I think that's more in part due to Bubbly picking up his pace a bit. But he's running out of battery pretty rapidly. In fact, he's almost completely out of battery. Alright, TomTom has plenty of it. So Bubbly used his battery for a short-term gain, but it's going to cost him in the long term, because it's going to take quite a while to recharge that. You can see the difference. He's gone from 1.6 to 1.75 behind TomTom already. Tyres, lap 9. I don't know when we should see the first pit stoppers that haven't been involved in accidents. We shall see. Bubbly has managed to close a bit through some of the twisty bits. Oh, and Isti now gaining on Daniel. He's gained enough that he's got the DRS, and the McLarens could now be looking at positions 3 and 4 instead of 4 and 5. So this could be rather juicy. Daniel's been using a fair amount of his energy, and it's just not been helping. He's just falling further and further behind, and he's not had a particularly great turn 3 there. Isti could see this as an opportunity. In fact, Isti has been let past by Jordan, potentially. The two working in tandem, and they're one Alfa Romeo on the field, looking like he's about to become the jam filling in an orange sandwich. Oh, Jordan getting pretty close. Both these McLarens smelling blood. They're desperate for a podium, but if they can get past Daniel, then we might start seeing a bit of infighting, because both of these drivers are going to want that podium position that Daniel currently occupies. Isti holding off into turn 1. The move should be able to be made into turn 3 as Charlotte gets a penalty. And it looks like it is going to be a bit of a jam sandwich. But Jordan... Oh, it looks like Jordan was trying to make the move on both cars. Daniel picks up the DRS now. As Isti was just ahead. What can Daniel do? He's going to try and go up the inside. And on the softer medium tyres. Oh, there's a bit of contact. But in the end, Isti has managed to get past. And as Daniel doesn't have the energy, well, as we can see, he is now the jam filling in that sandwich. It's going to be a bit of a DRS train for a little while, though, because Daniel will have the DRS, but one thing he doesn't have enough of is energy. Jordan has plenty of it compared to Daniel, so he may be able to make the move into turn 3. But he's got to be wary. And yes, we can see he's dumping his energy. Daniel just doesn't have enough. And Jordan, oh, actually, he pulls out. And Isti has to take evasive action because of Daniel. And suddenly, the two McLarens have switched and Daniel's back where he started.
Okay.
I think that was unintentional from Daniel there. Seems like he outbroke himself and that forced Isti to go wide. And Jordan sort of capitalised on it. And Daniel has actually taken this opportunity to recover a little bit of energy. And Jordan is on the exact same amount of energy as I just slam into my microphone. Sorry. In fact, all three of these cars are on very similar levels of energy now. So it's it's not going to pan out the way any of them would like, I imagine. Jordan gets the DRS, and that's going to be the deciding factor here. No, not quite with a bit of energy usage. Daniel, though, is going to get the DRS again down the second straight to turn 4. Indeed, he does. Jordan using his energy, but it's getting close. But Daniel is going to hold on to P3 here, I reckon. Oh, is there contact? Possibly. Oh, there's a bit more contact between the other two McLarens. It's getting really close. And both the McLarens are ahead of Daniel at the minute. That could have been a bit cleaner. Is Daniel going to be able to retake the position? Well, he might have. Isti keeps going wide. The hard tyres, oh yes, both of them are going wide. It's much worse for Isti though, so Daniel isn't it? This is a pretty mighty scrap for P3 here. A bit of a compromised line for Daniel, I think, and look at this. All this squabbling has allowed Pookie to catch up. So Pookie could still get a podium yet, which might be the most he can get. But the fighting between the two McLarens and the Alfa Romeo, look at this, it's still going on. Isti, he has the hard tyres, they might be feeling a bit better. Oh, he gets forced a bit wide, has to take evasive action. Goshan has picked up a 3-second time penalty now. He is back into the points. In fact, he's into P8 now, which I think was where he was when he spun. Tyres, yes, we can see the tyres. Vast majority of people are on 14-lap-old tyres. Well, guess what? One driver who won't be on 14-lap-old tyres for much longer, Daniel, as is TomTom. He's just pit as well for hard tyres. We've got a couple more cars coming in behind. Oh, Biscuit picks up a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Are we going to see any more cars coming in? Not at the minute. So currently it's, what's his name? Bubbly leading the way. He's got to try and get a very good in-lap here. And Pookie is now ahead of Isti. So we shall see what happens now. I reckon the McLarens are going to stagger their pit stops. They must be on voice comms together. And it looks like Jordan is going to come into the pits first. Indeed, he is. Jordan into the pits. We must go. E-I-E-I-E-I-O. I think there was one too many EIs. Big Six coming into the pits as well. The first of the Red Bulls, Bubbly, has actually stayed out. Someone else has come. Yes, that was Jordan. My apologies. I got things a little bit mixed up. Any more cars coming in? Not by the looks of things. And Daniel on those fresh hard tyres is going to make quick mincemeat out of Surtees and his Alpine, but he does come out behind Jordan. The Alpine providing a bit of unintentional teamwork. Oh, hang on, that's not quite the word I was looking for. Bit of unintentional blocking for Jordan, which has helped the McLaren here. So now that gap is not as big as I thought it would be. Isti and Pookie looks like. No, Pookie, I think, will come in. And Isti was, but decided not to. So Pookie does come in. And in fact, Bubbly has come in as well. So where is Tom Tom? He's coming down the main straight. Fastest lap of the Grand Prix, 107.1. And Bubbly has to settle for P2. And in fact, he's not had a particularly good set of in-laps. It allowed Tom Tom's hard tyres to get up to temperature. And Pookie under threat from Jordan here. And Daniel. And Daniel is going to get past Pookie, but we'll see how long that lasts. Essentially status quo. Isti is leading the way, but that won't be for very long. Whoa. Pookie almost running into the back of the Alfa Romeo there. Meanwhile, there's a bit of a scrap going on behind. I need some better camera angles. That's Goshan, a Big Six, and Sherlock all fighting. Sherlock on the old tyres. He's not got a lot of energy left, but yeah, that's Big Six about to breeze past the Aston Martin, though the Aston is not going to make it as easy as Big Six would like. Fusion is into the pits again. And Pookie has had a bit of a scrappy first outlap on these tyres. At the minute, it's effectively Jordan in P3, Daniel P5, and Pookie P6. Jordan P3, Daniel P4, Pookie P5, my mistake. Tom Tom catching Isti rapidly. His hard tyres. Well, he'll be faster on the mediums when he switches, but it's going to hurt his position, the position he comes out in. Because he is probably going to be one of the slowest cars on the track at the minute. Unfortunately, I can't tell the current pace of the driver. Bengal has had a pretty good race. He's up 10 positions. Isti currently up 6, but that's not going to last. Sherlock is the only driver left on mediums, and Reese switched out his softs about 9 laps ago. So, let's see how things go. Isti is about to lose the lead. It was never going to last. And I just can't help but feel that this strategy is going to be hurting Isti. That he probably should have gone with the status quo. Angel and Sherlock have pit now. Currently, the main fight on the track is between Daniel, Pookie and Jordan. And Pookie was about a second behind, but now he's managed to catch up a bit. There's no fight. I've just kicked. headphones and decided to go for a walk. As I was saying, there's no real fight between TomTom and Isti. In fact, Isti has just let TomTom by. That's not something you usually see. I remember the one time I tried to let someone by, they thought I was trying to steal DRS off of them. Even though I knew I was slower, I had a penalty, and my fight wasn't with that person. And yeah, I was trying to steal the DRS, but I also wanted to get the DRS was defensive, not offensive. In fact, I think that person was Pookie. Maybe it was Hyper, I don't remember. That was ages ago. I think that was that? No, it was an F121. 2021. When I was in an Aston Martin. I crashed anyway, so it didn't matter. Oh no, Isti! Isti just picked up a 3-second time penalty. Speaking of which, we shall take a look at the penalties. 3 seconds for Isti, that's going to hurt him at the end of the race. Though, as I recall, this league does occasionally get rid of those penalties. Bengal also has 3 seconds, Quack has 3, Biscuit has 8, 5 of which can be served in a pit stop. Goshan has 3, he's currently P10, still kind of down in no man's land. And Sherlock has 3 seconds as well. Oh, Daniel getting very close to Jordan here. The McLaren has no aid of DRS, but he's managing to hold off the Alfa Romeo, but it might not be for very long because the Ferrari is getting pretty close, as Sherlock has just picked up another 3-second time penalty. This is getting mighty close in the battle for what is effectively P3, as Isti has finally come into the pits. We shall see where he comes out, as long as they don't put the wets on. Sorry. DRS again for Pookie, and Isti has lost out majorly. In fact, he's behind Bengal now. And he might at least come out in front of Quack, and indeed he is, but those few laps on the hards have really hurt him, as Daniel has just got past Jordan. Pookie outbraked himself there. That hurt his attack a little bit. Oh, that's a bit of a Daniel Ricciardo move for Jordan. Got squeezed on the inside of turn 4. He's about to lose the position to Pookie, who has the inside for turn 5. And in fact, Jordan doesn't have a lot of energy left either, so he's used up so much of his energy defending from Daniel that eventually it's just hurt him, and he's lost 2 positions in the space of 3 or 4 corners. So Daniel now has Pookie for company, as Isti has just picked up another 3-second time penalty. Ouch. So Isti is pretty much out of the running here. And it's status quo at the front. TomTom has not really run away with it, but he's not being caught by Bubbly, who is not being caught by Daniel, but then again, these guys are fighting for P3 like it's the race victory. Pookie has a lot of battery compared to Daniel. He has, well, we'll see what he does, how he bides his time, as there's 12 or so laps of the Grand Prix remaining. The time has flown by. We've mostly been focusing on the top half of the field. Oh, Daniel went wide. That's almost certainly a warning. At least I would imagine it's a warning. Isti now picks up the fastest lap of the Grand Prix on the medium tyres, 107.023. Daniel didn't have a particularly great turn 1, and Pookie saw it, knew it, identified it. Target set and obliterated. Pookie up into P3 now, using his energy to defend from Daniel, who has the DRS. But now Pookie can try and pull away into the distance. I don't think there's any way he can win the race, but I think he ought to get a driver of the day here for, well, lost the lead on lap 1 and to get back into P3 in 25 laps. That's pretty good running. Not sure if Isti has just dispatched Bengal here, or if Bengal is fighting. We have a safety car. Okay, Reese I think has had a spin. Yeah, he's had a spin, lost his front wing, and for whatever reason, despite the fact that we've had missing front wings before, we didn't get safety cars then. Safety car because of a wing. I mean, at least it's not a chicken wing. I lost my lunch on the racetrack. Do you think we could have a safety car so I could go pick it up? Yeah, sure, mate. Sure. What kind of lunch is it? Oh, it's a KFC. Okay, few drivers coming into the pits. I would imagine for fresh mediums, TomTom coming in as well. Ooh, soft tyres. I imagine we'll be seeing a few of these. Bubbly coming in as well. Indeed, it's soft tyres for both of the top 2 runners. Pookie, yeah, I imagine everyone's going to be putting on the softs. A few drivers have not opted for that. Ooh, Isti and Bengal staying out. And Goshan is staying out as well. Ooh. So Goshan, reigning champion, and currently looking like he's throwing this championship away. This is going to feel a lot like a Charles Leclerc in Silverstone situation, or Lewis Hamilton at Zandvoort. I'm gonna sneeze at some point, I can feel it. So Isti back into the podium positions, but that's not gonna last, I don't think. Not on 4-lap-old mediums. He'll be able to stay ahead of Bengal, but Pookie behind is going to be rapid. Goshan's going to have his work cut out for him to try and keep this much of the field behind. Fusion also pits for new tyres, but that puts him into dead last. So now we have 3 drivers who have not pit for softs yet. Isti, Bengal, and Goshan. Gonna wait a little bit for the field to bunch back up. Oh, we've had a spin, I think. Yeah, Bengal has spun on his hard tyres. Oh. That was close from the Big 6 there. Bengal still not pitting. I don't think he'd lose out too much, but he wants to stay in the points, but he's gonna lose the points anyway. Oh! Giving up positions? I'm not sure what's going on here. Oh dear. Goshan, I reckon, is gonna sink like a stone. I mean, sure, we know he's a pretty good driver, but on 10-lap-old hard tyres, when everyone below him, bar one, is on the freshest, mintest, shiniest softs you can imagine. Yeah, you can see why he's weaving and wiggling so much. He's He needs as much heat as possible if he wants to stand a chance in hell of keeping that position. I feel
that this is a strategic blunder from Goshan here. But given the nature of this track, it might be quite difficult
for the cars behind to overtake. Maybe that's what he's banking on. Are we going to lose the safety car? Not yet.
Next lap, I would imagine, which will give us
8 laps-ish. 29, 30. Oh, hang on.
My maths are failing me.
30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 36.
Should be 6 or so laps. 7 at most.
Ow! Well, Goshan is back where he started, as is Bubbly. Question is, will either of them be able to keep that position? Will Bubbly be able to overtake TomTom? Will Goshan be able to hold on to P5? Will he miraculously find more grip than everyone else, despite having the oldest tyres on the field now? I think except for Ben Gill, but safety car finally coming in. It's going to be one hell of... It's effectively a sprint race now.
We shall see
how things turn out. Both Ferraris, well actually one Ferrari, looking like it can do something. Bubbly needs to try and get past that Mercedes. Isti has to try and hold on. Pookie wants to win. The very least he can do is P3. He can get past the McLaren, who is on this 4-lap-old mediums. Safety car is in. Look out. TomTom is backing up the field. And he's going for it. Into turn 9, the penultimate corner. And the race is back underway for the final 6 or so laps. And we shall keep an eye on Goshan, as Pookie did take a bit of a look on the inside of Isti, who is already sort of losing out. The grip is going to be key here. And in fact, Isti not even really trying to fight it. Pookie up into P3 already. Let's bring back that position change graphic. Goshan has lost a position already as well, and about to lose another to Jordan. This was indeed a massive blunder for Goshan, who believed he'd be able to hold on, and now it looks like he might fall outside of the points. I think you felt that it would take too long if you did try to pit, but now this strategy of staying on the hard tyres is hurting him more than, well, if he had actually gone on to the soft like everyone else. TomTom being kept honest by Bubbly, but he has just set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix at 106.145. And the gap gradually growing. Daniel now going to try and make the move on Isti. And looks like Daniel will be able to cement his position with the superior braking, the traction helping him out here. Daniel back into the position he's held since pretty much the start of this race. And Isti holding on in a better position than Goshan is. Goshan, though, to his credit, holding off Quack pretty decently, but it's only a matter of time. I've just noticed that helmet has some really funky attachments. Look like massive eyebrows. Isti Oh, he's keeping Daniel honest here. DRS enabled. We'll get it into this lap. Well, this section of the lap. Oh, yellow flag. That's Sherlock. Sherlock not had a particularly good race, and now he's dead last after a spin. Quack has been passed by 30. Just about, but Quack is about to get the DRS off of the Alpine, though he's used up a lot of his energy. So has 30, though. 30 up 11 positions. Goshan losing more and more time, whilst Jordan looks like he's gonna get past his teammate Isti in a few moments. Isti, though, doing very well on these medium tyres. They aren't the oldest, so they haven't lost a huge amount of grip. And the gap, meanwhile, of 30 is about to get past Goshan here, but with so little energy left. In fact, he's backing off. He's not going to make the move into turn 1. He will make the move into turn 3. Oh, we've had a crash. No, we have not had a crash. It's Bengal possibly had a spin. He's pulled into the pit and he's retired in the pit lane. So that's our first retirement of the race, as Sherlock also retires. And Bubbly, oh, it's gonna be a tough last few laps here, heading into the final 3 or so laps of the Grand Prix. And currently, both of the McLarens still, once again, stuck behind Daniel in the Alfa Romeo. Got to give credit to Daniel here. He's been defending incredibly. Meanwhile, I guess Isti is kind of proving to be maybe a bit of a poor teammate to Jordan here, who's just not been able to get past, even though he's on the grippier tyre. Isti, though, gonna come back at Daniel here. He's gonna make the move from the inside. These tyres are not dead yet. Though Daniel held off a little bit, he's gonna get the DRS again. This guy. Finally, though, Isti does let Jordan by, and now the two big boys, so to speak, can finally come out to play. Those soft tyres got to grip Jordan in a much better position than Isti to be fighting Daniel here. Still enough time for them to make some moves. Meanwhile, top 3 is that his second? 1.5 seconds. Pookie sort of gaining on Bubbly, who's actually used up a lot of his energy. But TomTom has not been using a huge amount of his energy. We're gonna get our first repeat winner of the season at this rate. TomTom holding on to P1 despite all the efforts of Bubbly and Pookie. Oh, and there's still some fighting going on behind. Once again, we've had potentially 2 drivers going side by side over the DRS detection because neither of them have it. But in the end, it's Jordan who's going to take P4. No! Pookie! Not again! Oh no! No! Spinala strikes again! No! Disaster! Absolute disaster for Pookie. And there's another car going round! The soft tyres are overheating. Jordan is gonna pick up potentially a P3 here. We're on to the final lap. Jordan just has to hold off for a couple more DRS zones. But with Daniel behind, it's gonna be mighty tough. Daniel's got the DRS. Neither of the cars have a lot of energy to play with. It's gonna be close. Jordan is gonna get the DRS again. Could both McLarens get past Daniel again? And Daniel defending for all he's worth. Jordan has the DRS, he's going around the outside. Can he make it stick? He's got it. He's got the energy, and they're both using energy. He's gonna have the inside for turn 6 or whatever. And Daniel is just about gonna lose out unless there's contact. Oh, there is contact! It's gonna be a surprise podium for Isti 104! And Jordan does manage to come onto the track, but there's gonna be FIA galore here. Isti comes out of nowhere to pick up a podium. Oh, well, of course he did have the penalties. But it's still P6, P3 on the road. We still get a McLaren on the podium. TomTom wins the race, but there was no fight there in the end. What a finish. There was no battle, no fight for P1 today. It was all about P3.
Oh dear. You know, I forgot to do something. I forgot to put the OBS on performance mode. But it hasn't hurt too much.
So yeah, FIA will have to sort some things out. There was definitely contact between Daniel and Jordan there. I wonder if Isti is going to have any of his penalties removed. Possibly.
Yeah, you should have seen last season's Austria race.
In fact, we still have a highlight from last season up on the channel of the two leaders going side by side over the DRS detection zone, and neither of them getting it.
In fact,
let's see. Let's see if I can find that. Gotta refresh the page because it's broken. Come on. So it's a highlight from last season. What was it called? What was it called? Yeah, there we go. Wow, they broke the DRS. Let's pick that up. Come on. Right. So here we go. This was from last season's race. This was between... it was Bubbly, not TomTom. So Bubbly and Goshan, last season, had Daniel right behind. An epic fight. As they were going side by side through Sector 3, they went side by side through turns 9 and 10, or at least turn 9. And there we go, side by side over the DRS detection. Goshan had a bit of a tank slapper on the exit of turn 10, but neither Bubbly or Goshan got the DRS, only Daniel, because they went side by side over the detection zone. And that did happen again with Daniel and... was it Jordan? I don't remember. I think it was Jordan. But yeah. Austria doesn't seem to disappoint. Right. So yeah, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Pretty incredible race. Next week, I'm not sure. Where's the calendar? Pardon me. Calendar. Next week, it's going to be China. On the 29th of January. With any luck, I should be taking part for that weekend as well. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, or I guess just gentlemen, until next time, we'll see. Have a good one, have a good week, and good night.